This is British National Party television outside the Crown Court in Bolton, Lancashire. Now we're here today to report on the case of Shahbaz Ahmed. Mr Ahmed is a 35-year-old married man who works for Metro Taxis in Bolton, and he has been convicted of committing a horrendous crime. His crime began in the early hours of the 13th of July last year when he was driving his cab along Thicketfoot Road, which is just over there. As he was driving along, he spied a young boy walking along the footpath. He pulled his cab over, wound the window down and said to the young boy, "What are you doing out at this time of night? Don't you realise it's dangerous?" He then offered the boy a lift. Now, the boy, who can't be named for legal reasons, and who was 15 at the time of the offence, has told the court that he was walking home from his friend who'd stayed late, and he thought Mr Ahmed was just being kind, so he accepted the lift. But Mr Ahmed was not being kind. Mr Ahmed drove him to a secluded car park near the local golf course, where he proceeded to violently rape him. The boy has told the court that he was terrified during the ordeal, and he was worried that Mr Ahmed was going to murder him or worse. But Mr Ahmed didn't murder him. Once he'd concluded, he drove him home. When the boy got in, he broke down, explained what had happened, the police were called, and an investigation was initiated. Now, Mr Ahmed could not deny that sex had taken place, because his DNA was found on the boy. But he did try to claim that he was not guilty of rape. He claimed that the boy had pulled a knife on him and forced him to have sex. However, the jury made short shrift of this ludicrous claim and unanimously found Mr Ahmed guilty of rape. Mr Timothy Stead, the judge in this case, has awarded Mr Ahmed 10 years in prison. The trouble is that this is not an isolated case. Now, it's impossible to say how big the problem is in this country, the problem of Muslim taxi drivers raping and sexually assaulting their passengers, not least because many victims of this sort of crime do not report their suffering to the police. And that was probably what Mr Ahmed was relying on in this case. However, we can say that we have a significant problem when a judge tells us we have a significant problem. Mr Michael Sayers, QC, who was sitting in judgment of the case of Mr Urazik Azabadullah, who had been convicted of raping his female passenger, told the court that nobody can ride in a taxicab these days with any assurance of safety. And so widespread is the knowledge of this sort of crime that even a BBC reporter early in the year was sacked because she refused to allow her 14-year-old daughter to travel in a cab driven by an Asian. Now, when these rapes and sexual assaults are added to all the other rapes that Muslims perpetrate, especially those committed by the many Muslim paedophile cartels that we have operating in this country, it is clear that Muslims rape thousands of our people every year. But I can't think of a single case of one of our people raping a Muslim. This is all a one-way street. Now, a blind man on a galloping horse can see that there is something sexually dysfunctional within Islamic culture. When one considers female genital mutilation, honour killings, and if ever there was a contradiction in terms, that's it, forced marriages, the prevalence of incestuous relationships within Islam, and the burqa, what greater proof can there be that Muslim men have some deep-seated problems with their sexuality than that they have to cover their women in a great big sheet when they take them out in public because they're so scared that some other man might fancy them. Pathetic, really. But we'd like to take this opportunity to appeal to Muslim leaders to get a grip of this problem, because there is no chance whatsoever of us living in peace and harmony together whilst Muslims are raping us on an industrial scale. Thank you for listening.